Hello Virgo, welcome in. Welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning in to the day's energies, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through for Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Cross watchers are always welcome. So glad that you're here, Virgo. I'm so glad that looks like a lot of the more recent readings have been resonating a lot with you, and I'm so grateful to be able to translate these divine messages of guidance for you. So thank you for allowing me to translate these messages for you. Thank you. What's hidden from Virgo? What would be helpful? Right. Outcome and advice. Next steps. Outcome and thank you. All right, Virgo. Let's take a look at these energies. Look at these cards. A lot came out in the overall energy. Let me show you. 7 of Cups, 9 of Swords in reverse, 7 of Pentacles, Justice, 9 of Pentacles, wow, Hanged Man reverse, Page of Wands in reverse. All right, so there's a lot of energy going on. Let's break this down. Holy cow, that's a lot. All right, so you have a lot of options right now. Spoiled for choice. Just be mindful. This does feel like a lot of energy, a lot going on around you, Virgo. Okay, for some of you, there are a lot of irons in the fire right now. You're spoiled for choice. There's a lot of options, so go slowly. Don't rush. A lot of you are tapping into your wisdom. A lot of you, it looks like you're not overthinking whatever these opportunities are. You're being asked, being welcome to feel, using your lower chakras to kind of feel into these situations. How does your body feel about whatever that person, that situation is? And like listening to how your body is feeling, your nervous system. It feels like you're tuning in and experiencing what's for you on a more visceral body level, physical level, emotional, nervous system. You're not just trying to find the right opportunity by overthinking it and processing, kind of stuck in that loop. It looks like you're getting out of some type of comfort zone, facing your fears. Whatever you've been focusing on, it's growing. Let's look at this, because this is the Pentacle energy here. 7 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles. Feels like what you've been focusing on is growing. And this is justice. And there's also this need to embody that justice energy, Libra energy. Yeah. I know you're Virgo, but we all can learn from other signs and other aspects. And this is what I was picking up earlier about not trying to overprocess something, trying to find the answer by analyzing something to death. Stay balanced in your thoughts instead of going down a rabbit hole. Feels like that's your willingness to stay balanced in your thoughts is helping you stay focused on what this is that you've been creating. Abundance. What it looks like also Virgo, it looks like this abundance coming in feels like justice after walking away from something that was emotionally draining. It looks like you were maybe in a situationship. You might have at some point thought this is my happily ever after. But it feels like you had some type of emotional attachment. And maybe also a fear of being alone, or I don't want to be alone. I want a partner. But all those beliefs and more kept you with someone who was not your person. And so whatever's happening right now is kind of embodying that justice. It's like you've created this justice for yourself after maybe the comfort zone that you're getting yourself out of was a toxic relationship, a relationship that you were settling for. Well, that's better than being alone, like that type of energy. I mean, what can Virgo know about this Nine of Pentacles and Seven of Pentacles? Yeah, it's somehow tied to this past, as in you getting over your past, you being willing to face your fears and get out of a comfort zone. It's like you've been able to rebalance your energy. So the Temperance energy for me, since this angel has 2 cups and is pouring 1 cup into the other cup, alchemizing energy. This feels more like emotions. So what I'm tuned into here, Virgo, is you've learned how to balance your upper chakras to not go down those rabbit holes of the story of whatever doesn't make you feel good and confident and balanced. And it looks like you've also healed your emotions. Alchemized. Looks like that's creating a lot of wisdom, which is what I was saying at the very beginning. And the wisdom to realize that, to let go of a person and an environment and realize that you could do better. It's like you let go of those 4 pentacles. This is as good as it gets. Oh my gosh, what if I let go of these 4 pentacles and I only have 2? And so that mindset kept you clinging to a person, a relationship that feels like good lessons here by getting yourself out of that connection. Feels like a lot of the lessons, the real useful information is you leaving a toxic connection, being willing to face your fears. Maybe some of your fears are around your finances, around being alone or having to journey alone, around creating abundance for yourself, emotional attachments. It's a lot of fears that you've been facing. All right, anything else about the Pentacles? I think it was a challenge. 3 of Cups came out on this past energy as well. I think you stayed in environments where you weren't celebrated, cared for. Feels like there's nobody really on your side. You had to care enough for yourself to not allow people to bully you, manipulate you. There's a lot of lessons here. Feels like there's a lot behind you, Virgo, a lot that you've learned. And so the justice is front and center in this reading. And there's something that you've been focusing on that's growing. And it looks like your pentacles, your abundance. Something that makes you you. Something that you've been focusing on, a skill. This feels very luxurious. This feels like you like it how you like it. There's also something I think you've recognized by journeying by yourself, that you can focus on what you want. You don't have to explain yourself. You can just make decisions for you. And that's helped as well. Beautiful energy. Looks like you've learned how to train your focus on what you want. Not what you don't want, but focusing on what you do want, and that helps. It also looks like you're not overgiving. It looks like you're also not... when you are in this energy of sacrifice, support character, it feels like it's exhausting to you. And it's one thing to help others, to uplift others, but to chronically be for someone else is not helping you or that someone else, really. In the long run, it's creating codependency. And so overgiving chronically, it's like enmeshed. You don't know where you end and the other person begins energetically. You don't know. It feels like you might have lost yourself in the sauce. I don't even know what I want. Outside of this relationship, it's hard for me to figure out what I want to do. So it looks like you've had to have a beginner's mindset. Start over from a new vantage point. You're not starting over from scratch, from childhood, but starting over from a new vantage point. It looks like that beginner's mindset has really helped you. You've taken that one pentacle and it's 16 pentacles. 9, am I adding that correctly? Yeah, 9 plus 7. That's a lot of pentacles. Again, there's... Yes, okay, this is telling a story. So 9 of Swords in reverse came out in the overall energy. It looks like you're telling me that you were really stuck in mental programming and belief systems that kept you staying in this kind of in a comfort zone, in a relationship maybe where finances weren't... It feels like you're doing all the work, but you're not getting anything to show for all that labor. Until now, another 9 of Pentacles. Can I add that? That's a lot of pentacles. 2 9 of Pentacles tells me there's a lot of independence, a lot of abundance. What do you want to do, Virgo? You decide. With also the Sun card coming out, it feels like clarity. It feels like your inner child feels comfortable to come out and play. So you don't have to hide away who you are. It feels like you're fully showing up. Wow. Beautiful. All right, Virgo. In what's hidden, we've got the 3 of Wands in reverse, Judgment reverse, and the 6 of Wands in reverse. 3 of Wands in reverse is my timing card. Something's taken longer than expected. There's been a lack of success, maybe even humiliation. There's all this judgment here, criticism, no growth. Feels like others have been able to criticize you and keep you small, keep you, yeah, there's a need to protect your energy from these people who just don't care. I don't know, Five of Cups in reverse. I don't know if these people know how to care. There's a real need. It feels like you have protected yourself from people who just don't care. Careless. They don't care about you. They don't know how to care for you. This feels like, Virgo, you have embodied this carelessness. It feels very personal. But the thing is, I get that this, whoever has shown you such carelessness up towards you, it's a reflection of who they are. They feel wildly critical. They feel somewhat empty on the inside, and that they're in chronic fight or flight, and they're out in their ego. They're so concerned with optics, with how things appear. This type of energy, it feels like family of origin for some of you, and that you were criticized, harshly judged. Feels like you might not fit in a toxic environment, and it's been very upsetting, Virgo, to not fit, to not feel cared for, there's this public humiliation here and shame, maybe scapegoat. Feels like you might be the person that everybody blames everything on, or you used to be. It looks like you're guarded from this energy, from anyone who doesn't care. So it looks like you've woken up and realized that you're the one that cares, that you see your value. You're not waiting for others to step up and see you and value you. You're giving that to yourself. It's like you've had to reparent yourself. Some of you had really domineering fathers, or controlling, punishing. It feels like you could tell quite a story. That's what I'm tuned into here. It feels like the backstory of this success that's you're stepping into. I just heard forged in fire. Yeah. I also perceive, Virgo, that the further along you get in this justice energy and whatever you are creating with all this abundance coming in and stability and luxury for yourself, that there's this proof in the pudding. Feels like the further along you get, the more you'll understand your past, and the more you will, how do we say this? The more you will understand that the past couldn't have happened any other way, that you're stepping into such a balanced, joyful, grounded aspect of life that the challenges from your past, it's not saying that, okay, I am not saying that you are like, I am okay now, I totally forgive everyone and letting go of all the lessons I've learned, and I'm a-okay with everything and everyone can come. There's there's some energy of acceptance of what has happened and transpired in your lifetime, because you are stepping into this new happiness, this new independence, this new freedom. And to have this experience, you had to go through incredible pressure and darkness. So I'm not seeing, it feels personal. It's not that you're inviting past people in. You've learned your lessons. Feels like you've created healthy boundaries with the people from your past. So you're not inviting those past yahoos back into your life and your experience, but there's some type of acceptance of what's happened in the past. Maybe some of you who are stepping into this, who have already stepped in this, might be able to explain this in a better way in the comments, and you're welcome to. All right. In the outcome and advice, Virgo, we've got the Four of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. I think in the past you've experienced a lot of people like this person, where you've offered your cup of love and they just pour it out. They don't respect you. They don't appreciate you. And so it feels like if you were raised in a healthy environment, you'd be like, oh, I offered you a cup of love. You're pouring it out. Got it. Message received. I'll go elsewhere. 1, 2, 3 on the clock. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9. All right. So if you were in a healthy family and someone did this, you'd be like, oh, ow. All right. Well, you're obviously not for me. Thanks for letting me know. But instead, it feels like you were raised when someone pours out that cup of love, because it feels like maybe even your parents did this to you. And as children, we are dependent on our parents for survival, literally. And so in your family of origin, someone doing this, as a child, you're like, oh crap. I need to convince this person. I need to, because my food, my shelter, my love, my care comes from this person. And so it feels like you were raised to abandon yourself, to abandon your feelings, your emotions, what you want, and chase after and try to convince this person to care about you, which feels like it's created a lot of interesting and difficult lessons as an adult. That chasing after, proving that you are capable by overgiving, by hyper independence, by centering others and giving so much. It looks like now you've healed from that, and there's a shift in the energies, and now it feels like, well, what is it that I want in my life? Yeah, what is it that I want? It looks like whatever you're focusing on comes right to you, manifests relatively quickly. It feels like you focus. There's something about your focus. Yeah, once you release the burdens of this programming, childhood programming, it looks like it helped you get into your high priestess energy without all the programming that has you chasing others, trying to beg people to care for you. Without that programming in the way, it feels like you start tuning into your own guidance system. Your emotions aren't your enemy, that it's okay to feel. It's not only okay to feel, it's necessary to feel how you're feeling in the present energy. That those emotions, those feelings are important. They have wisdom in them, guidance. Okay, there's something coming up around relationship as well. Something that was hidden. Feels like first message I'm getting is you were raised to not be aligned with your higher self, not grounded in this reality, but it feels like you were purposely removed from your own alignment and taught to center others. And so in your family of origin, that was chasing after your parents' approval, trying to get everybody to care about you. And it looks like in your romantic relationships, you might have that type of energy carried over where you center the person you're in a relationship with and just pour into. Anything else in the outcome and advice? That looks like you've been separating from, detaching from those type of relationships. I think you just recognize, well, that just doesn't work. It's just not how things were meant to be a support character instead of your own person, your own feelings, your own soul fulfillment, things you want to perceive, see, experience in this lifetime. And to do that, it looks like you've needed to stand on business. Oh, wow. What's up with your pentacles? You're really grounded, growing abundance. And it feels like things get easier and easier the more you detach from these unhealthy ways of being and with people who are so critical and criticizing. So, all right, Virgo, I hope that's helpful. Have a great rest of your day.